I understood Evangelion's ending, in which not everyone did. Well, and if you didn't understand it, well, in short, the Human Instrumentality Project was made so that everybody would come together into one being, one consciousness, so that everyone could understand each other. And that's what we see in the last 3 episodes of the series. And I do admit, this section went on like at least 1 episode longer than it should have, but it really is Shinji just figuring himself out after everyone's consciousness has fused together. And the saddening part at the end is that they say congratulations, even though they've already lost to the final angel. The ironic part about Gendo's plan, he was basically trying to get everyone to get along with each other, and all the while, he was not getting along with everyone. He made an effort to not do so. He just ignored everyone, basically. He neglected everyone. In multiple relationships in this show, we see people just not getting along. And it's only made more ironic because the reason why they lost is because they didn't have that type of communication with each other. Almost every relationship in this show is either forbidden based off of someone wanting something and never getting it. Every single one of them. Gendo wanting his wife back, Shinji wanting his dad, Asuka wanting an older man. I don't remember what Rei wants, but... And it doesn't help that all the pilots have like parental issues, like how they didn't have a mother, or how all their mothers are dead. And from this perspective, it's just dumb how they all failed in this way. And don't even get me started on what Misato was trying to do with Shinji. And in fact, the human race wouldn't have gotten this cornered if they just had got along in the first place. They united, they definitely could have taken on the aliens together. Okay, so the life lesson here is just get along with each other, which is only made more ironic by the last angel being a dude who gets along with Shinji, and actually everyone, and then kills them all. And then the Human Instrumentality Project takes place and unites them in this weird way. But the world is already gone to smithereens, so basically doomed. From whatever this looks like, definitely uninhabitable. And that's why I really like the original ending of Evangelion and none of the other ones, me personally. But the fact the ending is like this, a lot of other questions. Like, if there's a lesson to be learned and you want everyone to learn it through your media, then why did you make it so hard to dig out of the rubble, to discover? Maybe it's because media literacy has gone down. Maybe it's because the creator of Evangelion didn't do a good job of communicating it, ? And the ending I came to was Evangelion is good. And some people dare to say that it's bad because of this ending. But I say that Evangelion's good. It's just kind of hard to understand. And this opens up a wider discussion. Nowadays, people forget that, is it the viewer's fault for not understanding the message, or is it the artist's fault? And I feel like that's what this is really about. But before we get into that, subscribe. I have 533 right now, and you can make it 534 if you press that button. It's free, and it's a good way to support me. So yeah, let's get right into it. So basically my plan is to go over all the Evangelion endings now, you know, the alternate ones, as they are in the movies. So one Evangelion movie is just the ending of Evangelion, just animated in a more, just made to look more pretty. So we're just gonna not talk about that one. So after watching the second and third Evangelion movies, which are obviously supposed to be like these alternate endings, in fact, the second and third movies go in order, like they continue it, like they continue what happened from the second one. So enough, let's talk about the second. Evangelion 2.0, You Cannot Advance. In this movie, they basically change a section of what happened in the original Neon Genesis Evangelion. Rei proposes to cook a home-cooked meal with Shinji and his father and everyone else, obviously, as a way to make them make up. And there's that elevator scene where Asuka keeps on patronizing Rei, and in the process finds out that she actually likes Shinji. She herself just doesn't realize. They both like each other, but it's like they can never do anything. And that's how it is in the original series, but in this movie, they actually try to do something. But as the title says, you cannot advance. An angel attacks literally at the time it was scheduled. And even worse, it takes Rei with it. So much for dinner. And so Shinji, after being ordered to not do it, and they also dropped the whole tidbit of the Evas are only a mirror of their pilots, which explains why he was able to overtake the dummy system. Symbolic, because like they replaced Shinji with a dummy, and Asuka always calls him dumb Shinji, stupid Shinji, etc. Shinji is definitely a character who kind of thinks of himself a lot, but he is just a kid, and I don't think he outgrew that dummy title when he reached out to Rei and died. And they also introduced another pilot into this, Maki. Yeah, I kind of don't know what her deal is, not gonna lie, like I really don't. And with that, Shinji starts the third impact. So if he and Rei died, and they set off the third impact, then why is there a third movie that continues off? Well, it takes place 14 years later, and Shinji wakes up. And Shinji keeps on asking about Rei while hearing her voice. And Steel is no longer Steel, and Steel is where Gendo is, but Gendo is not here. I think it was called Wheel. It was something with a W. And Shinji is just as confused as everyone else. Rei rescues him and then transports him to Steel. And Wheel's objective is to take down Evas. But Shinji gets transported to Steel, and he meets Rei and Kaworu, and he slowly finds out that the Rei he's talking to right now in the black suit is not Rei. He in fact lost Rei back then. That was the, Then Kaworu persuades Shinji into doing 2-player piano with him, a duet, as a form of bonding with him, and also so that they're more synchronized when they get into the 2-player Eva use, which uses 2 people, and is required to pull out both of the Spears of Longinus in order to awake Lilith, and then end the world, creating the 4th impact. Asuka and Maki tried to stop him again, and even Kaworu was like, I don't have a good feeling about this, but then Shinji did it anyway, which solidifies the fact that Shinji really is a dummy. For me, viewing this was the last straw. He is just a straight idiot. But at the same time, he's only basically 14. The curse of the Eva is that even after 14 years, you don't age anymore. And maybe that includes his brain. So he lost his father, he lost his mom, he lost the love of his life, which might be the same person. But in the end, he's just a kid. So what to make of these endings? Sometimes things just never go your way, I think. That's probably the lesson. Maybe don't only think about yourself. I think it's actually, that's the lesson. Yeah. And that's it for this video. And subscribe. I have 535 subscribers right now, but you can make it 536 if you press that button. It's free, and it's a good way to support me. So peace out, and leave your own personal thoughts on Evangelion in the comments. I really want to hear what people think. Did you really get Evangelion? Did you not get it? I feel like, alright, this is not like a shot at some of you, but you would like Evangelion more if you would understand it more if you relate to some of the characters even more, like if you don't have a parental figure. I'm just being real. But yeah, subscribe, and that's all. See ya. Then there's the 4th movie, which is like Thrice Upon a Time. I think it's cool in the title because it adds up to 4, obviously. I'm gonna be honest, it was really hard to understand like a lot of things in this one, but in the end they pulled it through, I think. Like how they say final Evangelion, and the Evas are supposed to be like a reflection of the people, so like they're done, like they made up, And there's like a whole bunch of crazy stuff with like Shinji and his dad, but like Shinji and his dad are like low-key the same. And also Shinji obviously is basically an adult now. And earlier I said that I didn't really know the purpose of Mari was, like from a character standpoint, but I realized Shinji's like always attached to like his mother, obviously, and Rei is supposed to be like a clone of his mom, and so I think it's like symbolic. So I feel like it's symbolic that he ends up with Mari instead of Rei in the end when they're all adults. I don't really know what to say about Kaworu being with Rei. I don't know. They're both like not even really like, one's a clone and the other one's an angel. So I'm game for if anyone can decipher this in the comments. But yeah, that's it. Subscribe. And during this video, someone subscribed, so 536. I have 536 right now, but you can make it 537 if you press that button. It's free. It's a good way to support me. So yeah, this has been a Quad ZXY Classic.
Fly me to the moon and let me sing among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Only you, only you.